This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukmade, and this is Africa Now. Dozens of people have been harassed, threatened, or prosecuted for holding critical opinions about Rwanda's government, Human Rights Watch says. A damning report by the US-based group highlights a YouTuber with 15 million views who was charged with humiliating public officials after he published a series of videos accusing soldiers of abusing people living in slums. The report has also demanded the urgent release of activists, journalists, and opposition leaders arrested in the country. Security operatives have allegedly arrested 9 Ugandan journalists, including author and activist Norman, for offensive communication and promoting hate speech. Fred Enanga, Uganda's police spokesman, told newsmen. This comes barely a month after Ugandan novelist Kakwenza Rukirabashaija was arrested on grounds for insulting President Yoweri Museveni and his son. Mugambi Kai, Article 19 Eastern Africa Regional Director, said the arrests are creating an environment where the media has to operate in an intimidating atmosphere. Now on election matters. Somalia has again pushed back the deadline for completing lower house elections, a process that is already more than a year overdue and has resulted in political sanctions. The Electoral Committee announced late on Tuesday that it was delaying the elections until March 31, further delaying the vote for a new president and prolonging a political crisis in a country also facing drought and an insurgency. The U.S. has increased the number of Somali officials under visa restrictions for undermining the country's democratic process. The crisis over control of executive power in Libya could lead to instability and parallel governments, reversing the gains achieved over the past 2 years, the UN Political Affairs Chief told the Secretary Council on Wednesday. Libya's political crisis has escalated since the collapse of a scheduled election in December that was planned as part of a peace process to reunify the country after years of chaos and war following the 2011 NATO-backed uprising. Rosemary DiCarlo said the only solution to the current stalemate is credible, transparent, and inclusive elections based on a sound constitutional and legal framework. A first round of negotiations between Chad's ruling Transitional Military Council and representatives of armed groups said to have kicked off in Doha, the Qatari capital, has been delayed by hours. The event, which was expected to start on Wednesday, could mark a critical passage in the country's transition towards elections. The latest 42 hours extension was granted on Wednesday for armed groups to agree on who should attend the negotiations. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Business and more coming your way after the break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back in business. More than 100 million barrels of crude oil for domestic consumption were unaccounted for by Nigeria State Oil Company in 2019, its lawmakers have discovered while reviewing a report from the country's Auditor General. The Group Managing Director of NNPC is requested to provide the complete schedule of allocation of crude oil to refineries from 1st January to 31st December 2019. To health matters. Challenges and deep concerns are growing in the General Reference Hospital in Beni, northeastern of the Democratic Republic of Congo, with overcrowded with victims of armed conflicts carried out by rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces. Injured civilians, mostly women who have barely survived gunshots and machete wounds, have been pouring into the General Hospital. Makeshift tents have been set up at the bare ground of the hospital's yard by the International Committee of the Red Cross to accommodate more patients. Now, a combination of factors, including misinformation that the pandemic is over, the lifting of mask mandates, ending physical distancing, and a more transmissible Omicron variant, are causing an increase of COVID-19 cases globally, the World Health Organization warned on Wednesday. The health body said the pandemic is not over, and the virus will likely continue to echo around the world because of the lifting of public health and social measures. The Kenyan government has suspended a controversial crackdown aimed at improving road safety in the country for 2 weeks. The decision comes after the nation's biggest transport union threatened to go on a nationwide strike over officers tasked with enforcing road safety for all road vehicles, only targeting private buses and minibuses known as matatus and requesting bribes. Hundreds of thousands of commuters daily rely on these privately owned vehicles, often brightly decorated with bespoke artwork and blaring popular music. And in sports, the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi will host Ghana's home leg of the 2022 World Cup playoff tie against Nigeria, despite several issues with the ground. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has given approval for the 40,000 capacity venue to be used for the match, but has listed a number of conditions regarding facilities which it wants to be met. The Ghana Football Association will be fined should CAF's requirements not be fulfilled. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.TOSTVNetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukwade. Thanks for watching.